currently writing a new video idea, and I know it's going to be a very hard one to write and a hard one to put together, basically, not because of the technical difficulty, but getting it all from here onto the computer and rehearsing it and trying to get it all into place is going to be really hard. I've noticed that when my emotions are in play is when I'm the most creative and most driven to make something. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is with me. I'm assuming this that way because for me it's like an outlet, right? So when I do these things, it comes from normally a place of upset or messed up things in my head, and I'm projecting them onto these videos and trying to make sense of it all. Anyway, with other news, when I sit here and I write, I normally either listen to music or I put a podcast on or whatnot, and I listen, and right now I'm listening to basically people talk about politics, which is sometimes I dabble in it. Most of the time I don't, but I like to keep up to date with what's going on with people. You know what I don't ever understand is it's a thing that happens in America, and it is starting to happen in England too. But you'll have one person, right? And that person will have loads of different views, loads of different opinions. And for some reason, we, even if there's a person that we kind of agree with a few things and disagree with others, we'll support them wholeheartedly. And that doesn't really make sense to me. Someone will sit up there and say, equal rights and, abuse shouldn't be tolerated and, the money should be split fairly equally and people shouldn't avoid tax. And everyone's like, yeah, great, these are amazing, great. And then they'll say some crazy things, right? And the people like some crazy things. And you think, whoa, yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I agree with what you're saying prior, but not that. And I don't know why, but it is a very American thing just to kind of ignore it or kind of make excuses for what they're saying and just pushing with them still. It doesn't really make sense. It's okay to like someone and disagree with what they're saying. That's fully okay. And it's also okay that if you don't like someone or you don't agree with the majority of the things they say, when they say something of worth, it's okay to support them in that. I don't get why we do this thing where we care more for the overall image of the person that we're supporting than the politics or what they're actually saying, which is a joke. I don't think we should ever protect someone from what they say. Whatever you say it with your chest, try to explain it to the best of your ability. Now, if you don't agree with the person, or just say it. It doesn't mean that you don't support them, as a person, majority of what they say or whatnot. But don't just take one person and agree with everything they say and try to make them out to be the best person ever, because they're not. No one is. They will say some dumb things. Everyone does say dumb things and gets things wrong and needs to be checked and go, whoa, that's a bit crazy, man. You need to, rethink what you're saying, And so everyone needs to be challenged. I talk about this right now because I think about Donald Trump's time in office. I remember in 2016, I believe it was, I was about 15, and I remember when someone told me, oh, Donald Trump's running for president. I'm like, who's this guy? No clue. Now, a lot of people were hating on Donald Trump, big time hating on him. He then got into leadership, and I think it was did you vote for Donald Trump, did you not? And what ended up happening is a lot of people that voted for him got a lot of hate and da. Then he lost a second term to Joe Biden, I believe. So what was that, from however long? And then now he's been re-elected become the president again. And I feel that when he was running for president the third time, I guess, his influence was a lot powerful and a lot more people agreed with him and there was a lot more love for him. right? And so a lot of people kind of understood it. Now he's in power. First maybe year or so it was alright, and now he's starting to really drastically, probably drop more than when he started. And so you have this pendulum, right? 2016 he's down here, then it was like here, and then it kind of here, and then go back down here, and it swings back and forth, and it's constant. It's a constant back and forth, of like, okay, Donald Trump's doing good here, and then you're like, whoa, he's doing a bit. That's crazy. What is he doing there, right? He is pretty unpredictable sometimes, and he's definitely not the standard politician. And that's because he's not a politician. He is a businessman, and that is his bread and butter, and he's very good at it, and he's had a lot of time to hone his craft, and he's not a politician, so he doesn't act like a politician. I love to see it because when he first came about, it was like here, right? And then when I would say the first year of his second term, I say he was very popular. A lot of people were loving him, majority, right? And so all these people here were like, oh, these people are wrong, right? So it was like haha, you're wrong. And now it's coming to the point where he's back over being a little bit crazy, and all the people are like, oh yeah, no, but we were right. Newsflash, none of you are right. People do some crazy things and they do some good things. They can go back and forth, left and right constantly. No one's right in this situation. You can't be right about a person because they can do good things, crazy things, up and down, left and right. And, someone like Donald Trump, unfortunately, is going to go, left and right constantly because he is very good at influencing people. He's very good at buttering people up and very good at acting, and these are the things he gets from being in a business. Like being a businessman is about these things, but he does crazy things that makes people hate him, and he can do this all day long. He can just build upon this and just go left and right constantly. I'm pretty sure today the peace agreement that he has over there having war, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure that ends today. And so I really hope that they can come to a deal and everything is just squashed. No one has to die and the world can go on with one less war, Trump did say, I don't know how many weeks ago now, that, he kind of threatened a nuke, if we're gonna be real. He kind of threatened a nuke. And, as humans, like every human, let's be real, like no one wants that. No one wants that. No matter how much you agree with Donald on all his policies or what he thinks and what he says, no one thinks throwing a nuke in there is the best idea. And if you do, let me just sit you down. There are kids there. They're innocent. Yeah, there are people there that are innocent. There are civilians that have nothing to do with the war, don't agree with the war. They don't have hate in their heart, right? Yes, there are some, and yes, there are, a lot of bad people that do bad things on both sides, though. You've got to remember, throwing a nuke in there kills everyone. The good, the bad, the innocent, the kids, everyone. That's it. And that's unfair. That's an unfair price to pay for innocents to die just so bad people can die as well. It's unreal. And if you think throwing a nuke anywhere is a solution, you probably haven't thought on the solution that long. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.